Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So today we have one interesting question under functions. So the interesting question which we have read say, determine the domain of each of the following functions. Yeah, people have different views on how to calculate the domain, but let's try by all means to simplify things here. So we know for sure that for you to calculate the domain of every given function, we know in other words, domain simply means input. Meaning, what should you put in this function for it to be defined? Always you need to understand that the domain of a function is a set of numbers that will give that function a defined state. So you have this. We should understand to say that for every linear, so we can just say for every linear or quadratic or polynomial, they are the same domain of having negative infinity to positive infinity. What do I mean? Remember, a quadratic expression, a polynomial expression, a linear expression, they are all of this kind. This one in which we have is a quadratic. So the domain for this is negative infinity to positive infinity, because any number we get will make this expression to be defined. So let us now go to the second one. So the second one we have is 4 over 6 minus the square root of x plus 3. So the other question is, which numbers should not make this expression to be undefined? What numbers are those? So let's think of those numbers. Let us assume one number. Let's get 33 we put here. So if you were to get 33 plus 3, the value that you get is what? 36. Let's follow each other nicely here. So the value that we get is 36. So we have 4 over 6 minus the square root of 33 plus 3, where this is equal to 4 over 6 minus, remember here we have 36 and the square root of 36 is basically 6. And 6 minus 6 is basically 0. Of which you know to say any number divided by 0 is undefined. So which means 33 should not be part of our domain. Any number apart from 33 cannot make this expression to be undefined. But what again is the other rule? So what we have here is we should never have such in our expression. We should never make this function. Now shall I explain, guys? So we should never have a 0 down here, because when we have a 0 down, we know for sure that we will get something to be undefined. Then the other expression is 1 over the square. We do not need a negative. We do not need a negative down here. As well, this will be undefined. So let's think of a number which will make these expressions to be undefined. We know if we were to put negative 4 plus, as long as it is starting from negative 4, if we are to put here, it will be negative 4 plus 3, giving you negative 1. And negative 1 will make this expression undefined. So let's look now for a defined domain. So for a defined domain, we will start from, remember, if we put 3 minus 3, 3 will work best, isn't it? Yes. So even negative 3, so negative 3 plus 3 will give you 0. And the square root of 0 is still 0. Is 6 minus 0? 0. So we know for sure that if we were to put negative 3, it will still be defined. So from negative 3 all the way to what? To 33. But 33 exclusive. So we'll put an open interval. Why? Because if we put 33 to be 36, and 36, the square root, which is 6 minus 6, will make this to be undefined. Union And starting from 34, or in short, let's say exclusive of 33 itself, but all the way to positive infinity, will make this to be defined. So this is the domain of that expression which we have there. So this is simply a conclusive understanding you should have about the domain. You should never have a zero as your denominator because it will make it undefined. You should never have a negative under a square root, or otherwise it will be undefined. So hope you get something from this. Then let's deal with the last one. So the last one is the cheapest of all. You should know to say x should not be equal to 0. Otherwise, this will be undefined. So our answer will be from negative infinity all the way to 0, union starting from 0 all the way to positive infinity. Remember when I put like this, which means 0 is not included. So this is simply the domain of that expression which we have on top. So that is how you basically find the domain of such kind of expressions. Your host, Golden Zulu.